It worked. It worked. Good evening, everyone. How are we all? Let's get rid of that annoying little banner down the bottom, shall we? Just get rid of that. See you later. How are we all? Let me know if you don't mind that you can hear me okay. Frankie47, greetings from Florida. Ian Nicholson's doing the modding tonight. Thanks very much, Ian. Appreciate that, matey. Kid Mambo, good evening, mate. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are we all? Where are we? Getting a bit confused. I've got a new setup tonight. So let's have a little look where we get on the everyone. That's perfect. We can crack on with it then. Good evening, everyone. So I've got a few little extra little bits and bobs to put in tonight. I've got a way of putting up stuff on the screen. I've only just learned it about half an hour ago. So I thought I would show you a few of the bits and bobs from the restaurant, a bit of the food that we do in one of the restaurants. I thought that would be a good one to kick off with today. Got some sad news from a local area. Got a couple of guys that went missing. I'll tell you about that a little bit later on. I'm going to go into my solar and a couple of other little silly little things that I'm just playing around with it a little bit tonight. How are we all? Let's have a little look who is in the chat. Danny Sophie Carter, hear you loud and clear. Perfect. Evening, Danny. I missed a few of your last videos as we've been busy with the cycling club. We've done nearly 700 miles this month. Well done, mate. That will certainly keep you fit. That's amazing, isn't it? Well done. British lady. Hi, Danny. Hope you and family are well. Good evening, everyone. So we'll crack on. We always say that we're not going to do a particularly long video, but we'll see how we go, shall we? So I thought I'd start this, and bear with me if this doesn't go right, but I'm pretty confident I've got it dead right. So I'm going to show you a few of the little dishes that we do at one of the restaurants that we've got out here. I'm going to put one of them up on the screen. These are all photographs of what we do, not taken from... There's a restaurant that's sort of quite local to us that posts pictures with the sea in the background. Well, we're nowhere near the sea, so I don't know how that works, but there you have it. Anyway, look at that. Knickerbocker Glories. Looks very bad for your waistline, doesn't it? But actually... really, really nice. I like to sample one. When we first do something on one of the restaurants, when we do a new dish, I have to sample it. And it's quite damning. And when they do like milk, they make the milkshakes and bits like that, they overmake it. And I always end up like, do you know what? Whenever I go in there, I end up coming out there twice the size that I should have done. But yeah, so that was the Knickerbocker Glories. We do high teas as well. So when people come in, they get the tablecloth, they get all of the fancy, cutlery and the little tiers of food, etc. Unlimited teas and coffees. We do the champagne stuff as well, which is quite popular. So that's another thing that we do in one of the restaurants. I'll get these out of the way, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove them as I do them, and then it frees me up some room to put some more stuff up later on if we need to. There is the Eggs Benedict. Are you all really impressed that I can do this now? I've actually just learned. I've got a complete new setup, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Eggs Benedict with added crispy bacon. They are very popular in the restaurant. I won't go on to the large breakfast first of all. I will show you some of the healthy options first of all, and then this is a particularly popular dish in our restaurant. Now you can have that with a waffle, or you can have it with a pancake. Obviously, I don't know if you can see that. Underneath the bananas is a little waffle, but it comes with the yogurt, obviously the honey, it's got the granola in it, and obviously the fruit. That's really, really popular for people that, are trying to look after themselves a little bit. And that does get quite a lot of people order that. Remove that from the studio. I'll show you some of the That is called the breakfast burrito. Now, that is, I think it's hash brown, eggs, sausages, bacon. I think that particular one hasn't got the hash brown in it, but generally they come with the hash brown. So obviously the person that ordered that has decided to order it without the hash brown. I'm just going to remove that from the studio. We do freshly made pizza bread. So that's basically a baguette with fruit and chicken. I believe that one's got chicken on it as well. And obviously pizzas. This is, again, one that's relatively popular in the restaurants. I'm just going to remove that out. And then we get to the very, very unhealthy stuff. So this is our second from large breakfast. I'm going to come to your comments in a minute, guys. I'm not ignoring you. This is our second from large. We're really quiet on the old views tonight, and I advertised it really early. I'm surprised there's only 66 people in the room, but give us a thumbs up anyway if you don't mind. This is our second from large breakfast. Now, don't laugh. Again, very popular when we get all the golfers come out and people on, you know, stag parties and stuff like that. It's quite a popular breakfast, quite challenging. And there is one slightly bigger than that as well. So, yeah, I thought I would chuck that one up as well. And then this is the largest breakfast what we do, which is, as you can see, quite a challenge. I believe that the manager puts a challenge out that if you can eat all of that within 10 minutes, I think it is, or I don't know, you get a free pint or a free glass of wine or something. But yes, that's quite a large breakfast. It's 4 eggs, 4 hash browns, mushrooms, 4 toast, 4 sausages, 4 tomato, 4 bacon, beans, and black pudding. A cholesterol nightmare, mate, I would say. A cholesterol nightmare. So, yeah, I just thought I'd share you a few of the stuff that we do in the restaurant, a few of the dishes that we do there. I'm just got to delete these. Now, I'll tell you what I've really, really started liking recently is Bailey's. And they have started doing, you know, the cold coffees that you get? They've started doing Bailey's coffees. And they are cold. You can buy them in the supermarket. They're €1.20 or something, about £1, I think they are. But they are beautiful. Have a little look at this. Stock shopping with Sophie. And oh my God, my prayers have just been answered. I just have to tell you that Sophie was actually stock shopping there. So she has to go stock shopping for one of the restaurants. That's the smaller restaurant that's all in her trolley there. We change the oils very, very often. But yes, that is the Nescafe Latte Baileys. It is, as you can see at the very bottom there, sin alcohol. So yeah, it's non-alcoholic. I'll just run that again because I interrupted it. Just come stock. This is one of the stock shops. And oh my God, my prayers have just been answered. Bailey's coffee, cold Bailey's coffee. Life really isn't that bad. Soph, life really isn't that bad, is it? No. With me Bailey's coffee. What do you think? No. Stop looking at the toys, you're too old for them. Now I've got to try and work out how to remove that. But on top of that, and this is not going to be all about food because everyone's just going to go out afterwards. And Ian says he could easily polish that off in 10 minutes. No, Ian, it's bigger than it is. Harder than it looks, mate. Harder than it looks. And then finally, I'm just going to get rid of that one. I could do all this afterwards, but I might add some more stuff during the... Finally, they're also doing Bailey's ice cream as well. Now, I don't know whether that's real Bailey's or just Bailey's taste, but yeah, have a look at this one. Not only are they doing Bailey's coffee now, they're doing Bailey's ice cream. I can't show you for too long because it's all dripping down my hands. But yeah, look at that. Bailey's ice cream. So you can see why I'm putting weight on, can't you? I'm not boxing. And, you know, you can see why. I'm putting a lot of weight on at the moment. It's no good for you. So what we'll do, we'll just get the little topics that I've got queued up down the bottom. We'll get them out of the way, and then we'll get onto the comments and have a chat about everything. So solar. This is this month's solar electricity that was taken, I believe, yesterday. I think I took it. No, it wasn't. It was taken tonight. So as you can see there, you've got to be mad in Spain not to have solar energy because you've got so much sunlight. After the initial expense of installing the solar, it's a really, really good way of saving. I mean, electricity bills and gas bills in the UK, guys, you'll have to tell me how bad it is now in the UK and what you pay a month. Absolutely horrific, so I'm hearing. I understand they've gone up again, and I understand they're going to put them up again just before winter, when obviously everyone's got the heating on all the time. But this is just to give you a bit of an idea. So if you can see the green circle there, that's how much I've generated in electricity this month. So it's 1,010, I believe, 1,010 kilowatts. So that's just over 1 megawatt. Now that there comes 600, and you'll have to bear with me because I can't see that as clearly as everyone else can, but 662 kilowatts has come direct. So basically that's when the sun is shining on the panels, and that's how much electricity that we use direct from the solar panels. Yeah. Over the other side of that green box is 347, I think it is. So that's how much we've got sun on the solar panels, and we haven't used, so we've sent that back to the grid. So we get paid 10 cents a kilowatt for that 347 kilowatts that we've sent back. So there you can see it underneath in the red. So we've used 652, which will be exactly the same as the one above. So that's basically, you know, that's our usage. The red one at the bottom is our usage. So we've used 650 or 662. I can't see it. It's really small on my screen. 662 kilowatts direct from the sun, but we've actually still pulled 589 kilowatts from the electricity supplier. So this month, when you send back the 347 and pull back that, I'm expecting my bill to be around, I'm guessing my bill is going to be around 100 euros this month, which is about 85 quid, give or take. Now, that's quite high for me. I mean, the previous month, I had an absolute level, 104 in the top, 104 in the bottom. So the bill was relatively small. I think it was about 70 euros. So it's about 60 quid. But as I understand it, everyone's electricity is absolutely insane in the UK. But then obviously you've got the option of installing the solar there. And you can save some money, but obviously if the sun's not there, it's not there to save. So I just thought I'd share that with you because a lot of people sort of ask me about bills and stuff like that, about how much it is. Our council tax in Spain is around 800 euros a year. So that's about 675 quid a year. And it's a big house on a big lump of ground. So £675 a year is not bad at all. I can't moan at that. The comments are a little bit quiet, so I'm hoping you can see and hear me okay. The ticker's going okay, but right. Tulip has said, what about your water bill? So the water bill's not quite so pretty, to be fair. Obviously, during the summer, I have to have the hose in the pool quite regularly because we lose about 1 tile of water in evaporation every 2 or 3 days. So I generally have the hose running in the pool, just trickling in all the time, pretty much most of the summer. So I reckon I have 2 water bills. So one's for the plants and one's for the consumption, you know, where you bath, you know, you flush your loo, you fill up the swimming pool, I use the water then to go into a filter. So basically we filter all our water. We're told that we can actually drink the water in Spain where we live, but I don't really want to chance it. So we basically filter absolutely everything that comes in. But then we have a second water bill, which is for the plant, because we've got over 3 acres here. We have a lot. It's quite a what I call it, manic. Yeah, it's quite a manicured garden. We've got a lot of fruit and veg trees. There's a lot of plants here. There's, conifers on both sides of the property. We've got, hedgerows and everything like that. So that has to be watered fairly regularly. So I would say my consumption is every 2 months, I believe, for both water bills. I would say I probably spend about 75, 80 a month on my normal water. That's the house water. And I reckon it's about 45 euros a month, maybe a little bit less than that, 35 euros a month. So probably about 90 quid a month on water in total, I'm going to say, approximately. But yes, I'm just sort of giving you a bit of a comparison on bills, really. I don't know why I've done that. Let's have a little look at some of your comments. Let's have a little look. All looks lovely, Danny, apart from the mushrooms and black pudding. Now, Sharon, I love mushrooms, mate, but I don't like black pudding. I'm with you on that one. Where are we? Danny, Sophie pushing a trolley and you're holding a can of coffee. Yeah, I did think someone might pick up on that. It's her shopping, mate. And she's strong, that girl. She likes the old gym. Great. Ian Nicholson says he would definitely finish that off in the 10 minutes. Hulk's Green Arse, which is Peter. How are we all? Let's have a look at this. I'm sort of reading these out without reading them as such. Mary McDermott, you're also encouraging me, as I also feel peckish. The food must taste wonderful also and feeling yummy. Danny, as an ex-builder, that breakfast is insane. Thanks, mate. Yeah, they're very popular. I mean, we are coming into the quieter seasons now, which is a little bit better for us. We can control it a little bit more, although I've got 2 members of staff off this week, which is on holiday, which is a little bit of a clash, but it's just the way it is. Danny, are you on a water meter? Yes, we are on both house and garden. So we get, unfortunately, we are metered. I'd prefer it if we wasn't, because we'd really benefit from that with a pool and obviously quite a big garden. We'd really benefit from that. But do you fly from Mercia Airport at all? I love it. So quiet, but no bar. Yes, I do. I do fly from there whenever I can, because that's my closest airport. If not, it's Alicante. Alicante's obviously got a lot more shops there, bars, restaurants that you can obviously hit while you're waiting for your plane. Murcia's a little bit quiet. You've got a Costa in there. You've got a what's the sub things that they do? Oh God, you can see I'm not been in the UK now. Subways, and then they've got a duty-free shop, but pretty much that's it. And then they've got a very small sort of sweet confectionery shop. So it's okay, but like I say, if we can fly from Murcia, it works because it's really quite close to us. Our council tax per month is £195 for a 2-bedroom masonette. It's outrageous. Yeah, when you work that out, if that's a 12-month payment, you're looking at £2,500 a year, aren't you? Well, near on. Where is Tommy live? I want to go and reply later. I don't know. That might be why we're a little bit quiet. If Mr. T is live, that could be why. But like I say, I don't know. I'm in Dorset here. Council tax is £320 a month. Gas, electrics, £180 a month. Water and sewage, 68 at the moment. Yeah, I understand the water and sewage is going up a little bit now. So that's a bit concerning, isn't it? That's an awful lot of money. I'm going to be honest with you. The council tax, that's ridiculous. What's that, £4,000? Yeah, £4,000 a year. See, that's £4,000 in the UK. That's pounds. In Spain, that would be 4,600 euros. I mean, my house is not small. I'm going to be honest with you. Probably a few of you have seen it on the videos and stuff. And we pay, I think it's 820, something like that a year, euros. So around the 700 quid mark, maybe a little bit less. Obviously, we don't have the heating on as much because it's hot. We have the air conditioning on, but the solar panel takes the brunt of that. Obviously, at the moment, I've got an electric car, although it's hybrid, and it doesn't take an awful lot. So you only get about sort of 70 kilometres out of the battery. So it's not, I think it costs like about €1.50 to fill it up, which is not a lot. But I'm going to sell that now because obviously Sophie's bought a new car. And now we've got that car, which is due. It's like on a lease thing. So the Peugeot, the hybrid car, is going back as soon as I can, or I get the chance to sell it. But at the moment, that's where we are. We have 2 water bills, the main water and grey water, which is recycled. Yes, exactly the same. You certainly don't want to drink the recycled. I've got a friend of mine that only gets recycled water to his house. And that's a little bit concerning. I can't see that being very good for you. Well, I mean, you know, you can filter it, of course, which would help. But hi, City Flyer. How are you? Shame about Lando today. Do you know what? I'm absolutely gutted about Lando today. I see him sitting there in the field with his, you know, his hand on his helmet and stuff, and just absolute. And it was right at the end, was it? 10 laps to go. We're talking about Lando Norris for the people that don't follow Formula One. He was going to finish second today. Obviously, Oscar Piastri, McLaren, finished first. Lando was definitely 100% going to finish second, and then his car just blew up, or something's happened. I don't really know what happened today, but very, very sad to see it. He didn't deserve that, and it's sort of taken his contention for the World Championship back a little bit. But it's still McLaren 1-2 all the time, and I love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, very sad, and I was gutted to see it. I mean, like I say, Piastri won, which is still McLaren, but it was a shame to see. And also Lewis Hamilton was out as well. Both Ferraris, in fact, Leclerc as well. Both didn't finish. Lewis crashed, and I believe Leclerc did as well. Yeah, so both Ferraris crashed. Hi, Joanne, how are you? Let's have a look. I find the water meter cheaper than water rates. That's interesting because it wouldn't be here, obviously, if it was just averaged. But my dad's the same, actually. He doesn't use an awful lot of water. He hasn't got a bath. He showers, and his gardens, he's got the fake grass, so he doesn't have to water the grass and stuff. So his water usage is very, very low, but he doesn't want to go to a meter because he said he knows where he stands. In the house, Chris, how are we, mate? How do you get Mike Tyson to get rid of his gum shield? Get him to say S Club 7. I'm not going to try and say it how he would. Reagan Craig Houston channel. I take it that is replying about Tommy's live. Craig Houston, he is there. Okay, that's probably why we're very quiet tonight, guys. And I don't blame anyone that wants to go over and see that. But obviously you can watch it afterwards anyway, can't you? Which is great. Angela, thank you. My gas and electric is $400 a month. How horrific is that now? Do you know what? When I lived in the UK, I had a 4-bedroom detached house. It wasn't particularly big. Just before I moved to Spain. And I think I was paying 105 or 110 a month for my gas and electric. I mean, we had the online thing where you could be out and turn it on and off, which helps. That's a way possibly, if you haven't got that, you know, I can't remember what they call them now. Someone's going to put it in the comments. You know, the little machine that you can send it to your app and turn it on and off when you're not there. That ends up saving you a lot of money if you're out and about quite a bit. It's just a little idea to save a few quid if you can. I don't think it was Hyde, isn't it? Hyde. Good evening, Jenny. How are you? Craig Houston was streaming with Tommy live, but not sure whose podcast is on. Good evening, chatties. Do you have a community charge as well? No, mate. I am. I'm independent. Sorry, Sophie's sending me messages. 2 seconds. She's just telling me she's set all the alarms. We don't have any community charges because we're not on a complex or anything like that. So we don't have any community charges. But obviously, I have an awful lot of maintenance charges. So I have to look after the pool myself. Although it's not particularly expensive because it's a saltwater pool. We had it converted to a saltwater pool. So it's pretty cheap. I put about 3 bags of salt in a year, which comes to €6 a bag. So 18 euros, about 14 quid. Obviously, I have to have the pH controller, but that does it all automatically. That was part of the system that we had put in. So, apart from the water that tops it up all the time, I would say it's not particularly expensive for me to have the pool. But I have to either do the garden myself or we get a guy come out and help us which, during the summer, it's quite hard to keep on top of it. So if you had a community and you was on a community, you wouldn't look after your swimming pool because the community pays group, as a group for that, and your gardening for your community areas is looked after as well. So there's a lot to be said for communities, but I've lived on a complex before when I used to live in Tenerife, and you get a bit of noise and stuff like that, a little bit more noise than, we sort of get here as such, apart from the dog next door, which is another conversation. My new gas meter stopped working 2 weeks after it was installed. EDF still estimating after 7 engineers. I don't pay just my electricity. Yeah, be a bit careful, mate, because they'll probably end up coming to you. Well, I'm just saying that if the gas meters stop working, they can't tell how much gas you've used, so you can't really be charged for it, can you? My daughter's gas and electric is over $250 a month. Her water's around $90 a month, and she says they are still cold. It's an old house. Yeah, that's the problem with the old houses. Obviously, they're not quite as insulated as the more modern houses, but then they're bigger and got a bit of character, haven't they? Lando wants to borrow your McLaren, Danny. I ain't letting him drive it, mate, not after what he done to that today. 10-year-old boy sprayed at protest and an 80-year-old woman today by police out of order. When you say sprayed, I take it you mean pepper sprayed. I mean, if a 10-year-old child's been pepper sprayed, I've not seen it. Sorry, guys, I've not seen that, so I can't really comment on it. But not nice, I must admit. Water meter for me is so much cheaper, about $30 a month. Yeah, I would think my dad's would come to that, I would say. But he prefers it, like I say, he prefers it that he knows where he stands with it. Whereas before I was paying standard like next door with full family. Yeah, if you live on your own, you definitely, I would say, would save money on a water meter. Hive, yep, I did come out with it, but thank you for reminding me. I've got a good deal at the moment. I watched Martin Lewis, so changed, but EDF is terrible. So I know you can go on these, obviously, comparison websites, and you can find your cheapest, your cheapest thing for you. I think Octopus used to be quite cheap, but I don't know anymore. My dad was with Octopus. I think he still is. I can only compare to the UK, obviously, because I'm not in the UK. So I like this channel, not so much doom and gloom and a bit more of a laugh. Negativity can bring us all down. Do you know what? I completely agree. The whole idea about this channel is, obviously, I get a lot of regular people. I recognise a lot of the names, and it's I try and keep it away from politics if I can, because there's enough channels doing political stuff, and it is not particularly enlightening, is it, to be fair? Joanne, it's a 4-bedroom house, but high because we have medical equipment for a child. Okay, Joanne, so possibly that would explain a little bit of it. Yeah, obviously, if you're using electricity for medical equipment, then isn't it wrong that you're not getting help with that, though? Don't get me started. Thanks, Angelina. I hope Sophie's okay. If so, will she come on to the live stream? No, she's gone to bed. She just texted me saying I've just set all the alarms, so she's gone to bed. But I will get her on a live in the next. Her brother and her sister are out at the moment. And while we're on the subject, quickly, I've got a little video going out tomorrow. It's a little bit of a weird video. I've not really done anything like this before. It's just little snippets of our daily lives here. Might interest a few people, might not. We'll have to see how the views go. But yeah, I mean, anyone that's seen that Santander video I done the other day has gone, I think, nearly 18,500 views on that now. So there's an awful lot of people saying they're in the same boat as me. So it's an interesting video. If you've got any problems with banks, it's worth going over and having a look. And it's not really just Santander. I think there's other banks as well. Do they have similar to council properties over there, like in the UK, where if you're council owed, you will get pool maintained yearly? Not really. Mouse charger, no, not really. I don't think so. They have obviously people that the council will help towards a rent, but I believe they then have to pay their bills. I'm not really sure. I'm going to be honest with you, so I'm probably commenting out of turn really, because I'm not 100% sure. Mouse charger, so sorry to find EDF terrible. You find EDF terrible. I've been with them ages and I've had no issues, but I don't have a smart meter. Yeah, that's another thing that they're pushing on people, isn't it? The old smart meters, because if you've got a smart meter, excuse me, as I understand it, if you don't pay the bills in the future, they can go and cut you off. So just bear that in mind. A smart meter always sounds like a good idea, and I had it in my house before I left the UK. The little, tells you how much you're spending and this and that. Never really worked, but yeah. But bear in mind, as I understand it, those smart meters can be turned off remotely, so they haven't even got to, turn up. Just something to bear in mind. British lady, they were fab. It was when I changed to smart meters. Wish I never did. Now you could probably request to go back. To be fair. Maybe you can't, but I would think you can probably request to go back. Keith, hello, mate. How are you? I've never have a smart meter. I'll never have a smart meter. Children and women pepper sprayed. Seen it on 2CTV. Was there evidence of that? Did you actually see the pepper spraying? I'm not doubting it. I'm just saying. Did you see what happened and what led up to that? That's horrific if it's a 10-year-old child. Angelina, don't bother, but only from my experience. I'll put that one up. You can also get a solo tariff if someone in your household has certain medical conditions. There you go. It might be worthwhile looking into that. I think it's discussed in the cost of utilities in the UK. These numbers people are putting up are outrageous. I pay €45 a month, but you don't live in the UK anymore, mate. I mean, to be fair, during the what we're in now, we're in August, aren't we? So September, I'm guessing my bill will be about €70. October, probably about 40, because you're not really using so much air conditioning, but it's not cold enough to put the heat on. November, probably 45, 50. So yeah, it's not a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not a lot. It is Diablo. Good evening, Trevor. How are you, mate? Sorry if I've missed other messages. Are you visiting us soon? I don't know if that's aimed at me. Sorry if I've missed other messages. Are you visiting us soon? If that message is for me, I'm not going back to the UK for the foreseeable future. It's depressing, Dan, and getting worse by the day. TG Fox is a family chat and very good. There you go. You was on 69 likes on my laptop, so wanted to round it up because 69 is a bit saucy. Have you got a drone yet, Danny? Uno momento, por favor. I do. Oh, I've really knocked the table then. But I've got 3 batteries with this pack, and only recently got it. I got 3 batteries with it, and it's been charging all day, and it's not even charged 1 battery yet. A bit concerned about that, actually. It has been charging since 9 o'clock this morning, and here we are. What's the time here now? Let's have a look. 11 o'clock and still not charged 1 battery. And I don't really like leaving it on overnight because it's new. You will be back to boxing. The Bailey's ice cream looked lovely. Yeah, I really need to try and get back there this coming week. I'm not going to be able to do a lot, especially with my gained weight, but I will slowly start again. I'm planning on going this week twice. RE, the bank problem, bearing in mind that they are acquiring interest and all the money that they are holding on to. It's very true, because my money ain't going to earn them much, but if you look at everyone's money, that's going to be an awful lot of money, isn't it? It really is. Danny, ever thought of doing a video about what you all got growing in your garden? Yeah, I have. I'm going to be honest with you, Angelina. Since we had a gardener before, a long story, but since he's not doing it anymore, the growing has sort of not great now. I'm going to be honest with you. I need to really, but it's just time. I'm going to be honest with you. But I will get back to that. That's a smart meter. I'm with Utilita. Never had a problem with them. Never heard of them, but I'm sure they are good if you're saying that. Evening Warhawk, how are we? AY has video. Oh, okay. I take it. So I take it this spray might have been in Epping, because I know that AY was there earlier. I see about 5 minutes of it, but then I had to do other things. So yeah. Yes, there was. Okay. I'll have a look out for that. As I say, I've not really been on YouTube an awful lot. Paul done a really, really good video earlier, Paul Thorpe, on his channel. He had his little jacket on. I phoned him earlier. I said to him, you must be cooler up where you are than where I am, because it was far too hot to put a little jacket on, I can tell you that. But I was there with Paul yesterday. I spent the day with Paul. Sophie went to I'm going to get this right. I did write it down. Sophie went to a water park in Benidorm called Aqualandia. So I'll take it that's the Spanish version of Aqualand. She had an absolutely fantastic time. I'll come back to this. I'll leave it up. I had a fantastic time there, but I didn't really fancy going to a water park. We done one a few weeks ago, and I can only do so many slides at my age, especially with my weight. I'm making it sound worse than it is. I'm 100 kilos at the moment. Normally I'm 93. So I've put on about 7 kilos since December, which isn't terrible, but I don't like it. Anyway, so I spent the day with Paul, and we went out and, yeah, had a bit of breakfast, went into Benidorm, and then we had a look around some shops and bits and bobs, chilled out at his house for a while. I had to leave a bit early because obviously he'd done the interview with Ben Habib yesterday, and he needed to set up for that, so I just got myself out of the way. Well, my favourite, I remember Whippy produce. Wimpy. Sorry. I'm thinking of ice cream there because I'm still thinking of Knickerbocker Glory. Wimpy produce. Evening, Danny and everyone. Hi, Linda. How are you? Danny, apparently you cannot have smart meters removed once you have them. There you go. I didn't know. So if that's the case, that tells you everything you need to know about getting one, doesn't it? With that bank and had a problem. Oh, so you're with that bank and had a problem transferring money the day after watching your video. Peter, do you know what? I don't think it's just that bank. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's getting harder to do everything. Can you imagine, like I've said, look, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but can you imagine if we go cashless? Oh my gosh. And then the bank's decided that you spent enough on your shopping, or you put enough petrol in your car, or you booked enough holidays. You can't go on more than one holiday a year because they won't let you book it because you can't pay for any other way of doing it apart from, using the bank. We've got to fight for cash, everyone. I know there's only 120 people watching, but, that 120 people is a big help. There'll be people watch it afterwards. Can't believe it's September tomorrow. No, I can't either, but I'm really, really pleased it is. Not wishing my life away, but it's just been too hot here. I hate July and August. It's just too hot. September will start dropping down. It started a little bit now, but it was still boiling hot today. Absolutely boiling. Yep, I did. Saw the police draw it out. Even Jack Hadder's in Journo got sprayed. What's the coolest time in Spain then? Is it September? No. I mean, if you want cold, January. It's freezing. Well, I say it's freezing. It's about 16, 17, 18 during the day where we live. I mean, if you go up north, it'd be not far from the UK weather. But I mean, if you want to know about a nice temperature, mid-September till December is nice, in my opinion. A lot of people really like the hot weather, but I just don't. It is, Danny. We miss you. Yeah, that was directing back to that question, whether I'm coming back to the UK. I'd like to be there. Do you know what? The 13th of September, I would love to be there. Absolutely love to be there. I'm completely behind it, but I've just got no faith of going back to the UK. Like I say, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you know what happened to me in April. So I witnessed a pepper spray live on AY Audit channel. Definitely unprovoked attack. Unbelievable. Boys and their toys chat. Woohoo, Danny has got his drone. Yeah, I mean, I should be able to get some videos out by 2028 by the time the battery's charged. I can't believe how long that's taken to charge. It's sort of hiding behind the pillar. It's behind me, but it's hiding behind the pillar. Let me look. Stay there. No, we're still on the first battery. Still not charged. Madness. That's not right, Dan. Hello, I'm late. What's not charging? My drone batteries. All three of them. Well, even one of them hasn't charged. Been on for about a year. That's what it feels like. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I should read the instructions, really. I'm a wee bit late. Just finished watching Liam interview with... Oh, thanks. Go over to Liam's channel, Linda. Thanks a lot, mate. Yeah. I'll have a word with Liam. Get you banned. Wee Lassie talking about Islam and how... yeah. Liam's interviews are fantastic. I'm going to be honest with you. Absolutely fantastic. DJI drone, yes. Yes, it is. How are we all? Oh, Dan, can't wait to see overhead pics. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Like I say, I've got to do a bit of practice with it before I put anything up, but I'll probably get the hang of it. It's got obstacle avoidance on it, so if I'm ploughing along and it's going to hit a tree or something, it'll get out of the way on its own. 12 hours to charge the battery. Daft question, but have you put the plug in the socket? Yeah, it's flashing. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, listen, I'm not. I know I'm not techie, but I'm not bloody that bad. Rest in peace, Princess Diana. 20 years today. 28 years. Sorry, 28 years today. That was a shock. I bet everyone remembers what they were doing on that day. Santander are part of WEF. Do you know what? You could well be right, mate. Canary ware. Yes, it was. Well, I think I'm a little bit behind with the comments, guys. So, and a lady got arrested for utting flag outside the council building. If you're doing it peacefully, under Section 10 of the Human Rights Act, you have got a right to freedom of expression. So I don't know whether they can get arrested for that, but anyway. The freedom of expression covers the flag as well. No, it was Canary Wharf Shopping Centre. Yeah, I see there's been a lot of protests today. I've only watched a little bit on the news that there was an awful lot of protests today. I hope it was peaceful. Danny, check your charging plug. It needs to be around. That could be the case, you know. An ordinary C2C lead is not good enough. Okay. Either it's a USB to C. It needs the boost from a 64 amp plug. Very interesting, mate. That might explain it, why it's so slow. That might explain it. So I will, yeah. A C2C lead is what's in there at the moment. Because the C2C lead is what I use to charge my phone. The USB to C. I will change that, mate. Thank you very much for that. You might get drone videos quicker than you thought now. 64. Do you know, I was round a friend's house when that was all going on. We'd been round there. He owned a minicab company in Hornchurch in Essex. And I was round his house that night. We went home and woke up to that news. And I just remember saying, oh, my God. And that was my first, you know, I'm sure everyone did as well, but yeah, horrific. That's another video for another time, isn't it? What people think about the Diana thing. Was it an accident? I've got a theory about that, but yeah. I'm also with, that's the so there you go, guys. It's on the screen now. Look it up. Maybe you can save a few quid. New banking regs from October. No more instant transfers for sums over £1,000. Bank will hold on to your money for 24 hours and will apply to cash withdrawals as well. Now, that's very, very interesting. Now, my children, it's a really long story with my kids, and I won't go into it, but they are going to need to make a reasonably big transfer soon, a lot more than £1,000. Yeah, bank to bank, to a solicitor's. I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave that up for a second, guys, so you can all just read that for a sec. That was a great video Paul put out earlier. It was indeed. I think it ticked most boxes with things on that. Kicking off at Epping tonight as well. Well, look, like I said, I am not going to get political, but the government have gone against the wishes of everyone, haven't they? It's a shame that it's getting like that, but there's an awful lot of angry people out there. I mean, it's not the answer, kicking off. It's not the answer. But a lot of people are beside themselves. Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth. The pepper spraying was in Canary Wharf shopping centre and some punches thrown by... I've not seen it, guys. I can't really comment on it. Danny, your electric 240 volt... Right, so I haven't actually got batteries for the solar. Basically, if I generate a kilowatt of electricity, it gets sent back to the grid and I get paid by the grid. So I get paid by the electricity company for any excess electricity that I don't use. So over night time, when I'm running my aircon, I'm running it at full cost. But then during the day, when I don't use it, I'm sending it back. But when I send the electricity back, I get 10 cents where I'll get charged 14 cents to use the electric. Look, I can't complain. My electric's not out of the way, considering the amount of electric I use. It's going to reduce quite a bit soon because once the electric car's gone, that's going to reduce quite a lot of the consumption, to be fair. You know, during the winter months, you don't have the air. I mean, I have the pool pump on for 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day. You know, that's 1.4 kilowatts on its own. At the moment, probably the aircon's on upstairs, although it goes into its inverter mode and it becomes quite economical if you leave it on. That's one thing I've found with air conditioning. It's taken me a long while to find it. It's better to leave it running at a higher temperature, which keeps your house cool, than having it burning out and trying to get to a temperature it won't get to. It becomes quite economical and you can leave it on for 10 times longer for the same money. I'm still thinking about that fruit platter. I can't put it up again because I've deleted it now. They are lovely though, to be fair. You know, the old Greek yogurt, it's lovely. You'll probably seen that and reply to it, mate. Not a word on UK MSN on the anniversary of Princess Diana's death. Cashless is the plan. Cash is king. Problem is, guys, you got to use it. That's just how it is. I'm going to end the show on a bit of a downer in a minute, so I might chuck it in before the end of the show so that we can carry on. I'll try and get to some more of the comments. True Finders in Future Ventura. RBS are good. I got scammed £275. No squibbles or no quibbles. Paid me back. So that's good. That's very good. I understand RBS are quite a good bank as far as banks are concerned. Paul is being used as a fluffer for advance. He fell for it. Good evening, everyone, mate. I used to visit smart meters that had broken. Got a list sent to me of some 30 a day, and there was 120 of us in the company. No one working there would have a smart meter by choice. There you go. And that's someone that Peter used to work with smart meters. That tells you all you need to know as well, doesn't it? Sasha Blue, Paul is an adult. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. He's very intelligent. Yeah, I don't really. Paul's no Wally. Let's just tell you that. That sounds very nice and cheap. Have you ever lived or been to the UK? I think we can just support our own ways, to be fair. Just because we're not there, there are other ways. It's very true. I'm going to be supporting it as much as I can from the outside in. There you go. There's your answer. Typical bloke. Don't read instructions. Think they know. Yeah. In Blackpool, when you heard about Diana. I'm putting all the comments up tonight, guys. So, all right. Okay. Danny, Article 10 is not absolute. Surely it's referable, though. We're in the, human rights applies to us. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to argue with you, mate. You're more legally qualified than I am. That's for sure. I watched Liam and Paul, then On You Came, so late, not through choice. So you should be watching them after. Where are we? Sorry, I've just completely cocked that up then. Danny in Spain, is the USB-C charging cable linked or something? It could be the cable or the socket. Have you got a C? Right. So have I missed any comments then? No, I haven't. Hi, Sharon. You okay, mate? No, so it's in the plug point. The C charger's in that, and the C charger's actually charging the actual box, which has got the 3 batteries in it. I'll change it over. I know exactly what I'm going to try. I'll try it, as I say. We'll see if that works. Dan Wharton has just got a video up, not watched it yet, saying Harry has said in his book that Diana was, I can't say the word, but there you go. I've not read it. I can't confirm it, obviously. Think the new banking regs offer sums over £800 to be held for 24 hours. Well, that will earn the bank a mammoth amount of interest, won't it? All of the people's money. I mean, what's 800 quid nowadays? I'm not being rude, right? How many times do you have to send more than £800 somewhere? And say you're trying to buy something, right? Okay, I can't hold the item until you send me the money. As long as you know it's all above board and not a scam, you could lose that item. Don't get me started with banks, mate. Don't get me started. Did you ever use an electric car in the UK? I watched some of I had a Nissan Leaf for a 2-year period. I leased it. Believe it or not, when I had a C63 AMG. So, the C63 AMG Mercedes was a 6.3 litre V8 or 6.2 litre V8. The most uneconomical car I've ever owned in my life. And then I had an electric car as well. So I think when you average it out, I was on about a Ford Mondeo with economy. That was good, but that had no backup of electric. That had no backup of petrol, should I say. So if you run out of electric, you had real anxiety when you was driving that. If you put the air conditioning on, you knocked 25 miles off the clock straight away. If you put your heater on, was the same. If you accelerate too fast, if you don't let it rest up and recharge, it was always, you had anxiety. You really did. The car I got now is electric, but it's also got petrol. So if you need it, it comes on. You can use the both together, just electric on its own, or just petrol on its own. I've always thought that Diana was, Just checking. It's definitely a 65 watt plug needed to charge the batteries. Okay, I'll look into it. To be fair, they don't even give you a bloody plug with it. All the money you spend on the drone, you get the wire, you get the box to charge it in, but you don't get the plug. I'll pop down the local Chinese shop. They sell them up there. Sorry, just getting on. Hi, Danny in chat. Hi, mate. How are you? You've been watching someone else, haven't you, mate? Cheating on us. What was that Sasha on about? Leave Paul alone. Yeah, you know. Haha, why not? As long as you know what to do with it. How much someone in America got themselves some apple horse paste? No idea. I'm completely lost with that one. Where are we? There's a good question for you, mate. Are the new banking regulations in October worldwide are just for UK and Spain? I've not heard of it out here, but you can definitely not in major retail stores spend large amounts of cash here. I was I was looking at some TVs the other day because my telly's really old now, and I just want to get a slightly bigger one at some stage. So I went in and had a look at it, and there was some guy, English guy, was trying to pay, I think it was 1,100 quid. And he asked them, he was standing exactly where I was standing and looking at the tellies. And he said, can I pay that in cash? They went, no. I think I can't remember what they said, how much he could pay. But anyway, he couldn't pay it in cash. He did pay it on his card, but obviously cash is king, as everyone says. Well, there you go. There's your answer. There's your answer. When is the next update on Tudor? I've still got the same problem. They've not replied to me, so there's not really an update at the moment, unfortunately. Although I do believe I've got an answer to the banking problem. I'll go into that on another video if it comes to fruitation, shall we call it. No, Danny, Liam was halfway through. He came on first. Always look forward to your chats. Only joking with you, Jennifer. I don't really get offended. And Liam's channel is amazing. It really is. Was in the supermarket the other day and the man in front of me paid nearly £200 for shopping in cash. I thought of you, Danny, and was saying to myself, yes, yes, yes. I mean, look, at the end of the day, if everyone does that, keeps cash alive, doesn't it? You know, if you're going to spend it on your card, why not spend it in cash? They don't have a horse, a medical field too. I'm surprised. There you go. These traitors, Danny, coming on late on the live. Yeah. I'm watching from the start. That fry up looks nice, and I'm from Ulster. Yeah, oh, yeah. You like your fry ups, mate. Got the 100 likes, 122 watching. Not bad. Some of you need to hit that like. Yeah, if you don't mind and you haven't given me a like and thumbs up, there you go. I'm going to annoy everyone now by putting that banner up. And I'll go back to the comments. Have I just changed everything? I really have, I think. No, I haven't. I'm really getting on the nerves of people slating Paul all the time and yourself on occasions. Yeah, we read it. Don't worry. We know they're just jealous and nasty. Listen, it's got to a point now where it doesn't actually bother me anymore. I had a couple of things recently, and I can't go into it too much because I was getting a little bit aggy about things, and I was going to try and find someone that said something wrong thing to me to have done. But anyway, it wasn't about me. It was about someone else. And Bailey's coffees, I have been doing them for years. Yeah, real Bailey's coffees is nice. Those little cold ones you just buy in the supermarket, they've got no alcohol in them, so you're all right to drive all day with them and everything else, and they taste like Bailey's. You wouldn't tell no different. It's just there's no alcohol in them. Can you or anyone recommend a good online bank? I mean, there's quite a few, isn't there? And I don't like to recommend banks because I think at the end of the day, they're all pretty much the same. Who would I say? No, I don't really want to recommend a bank because if they turn out to be no good and someone loses money over it, over one of my recommendations, I wouldn't want to do it. But if anyone else wants to comment, they're more than welcome to. I had to go pay a solicitor for a probate bill. They would only accept £500 in cash, had to use my card for the balance. Look, fair enough, right? A lot of companies don't want cash on site, do they? Because it's a risk, isn't it? Someone steals it, or then someone's got to go to the bank with it, and that's then a risk because they're leaving the solicitors to go to the bank. I get that at times. But, you know, for general day-to-day stuff, paying your 30 quid petrol, paying your £100 shopping, paying for a meal out, you know, paying for a train ticket, whatever. Just use a little bit of cash. Danny, why don't you and Sophie do a cooking video together or cocktail making? Yeah, I'll tell you what, Angelina, I'll do that. What flavour pot noodle do you like? Do you like the beef and tomato, or do you like the chicken and mushroom, or the Bombay bad boy? Because I'm good at all of them. Thank you. I'm very depressed on how corrupt the UK is in variety of ways. It's possible to survive here, and it's impossible to survive here in the UK now. I'm not joking, mate. Don't come here unless rich. Well, unfortunately, mate, all the rich people seem to be exiting as well because there's no incentives there, is there? You're getting taxed through the backside, and people are not putting up with it anymore. I don't know what the end goal is. Like I say, I don't want to get political, but I don't know what the end goal is. It's obvious, isn't it? If you've got all the people that are paying into the system are leaving, the income going into the thing is going down, and if you're getting people that are claiming from the system, it's going up. It's going to tip, isn't it? It's going to tip because there's not going to be enough money coming in to support the money going out. It seems basic maths to me, but there you go. I've got to fry up now. Sorry about that. Here you go. Question for you, mates. Right, I'm going to pause the comments for a minute. I'm going to have to try and go back to them in a minute. So a bit of bad news has come out in Spain, and it's not far. It's not close to me, but it's not far from me. And I know an awful lot of people in this area. So 4 months ago, back in April, 2 gardeners went and done their day's work. They left their families. So I understand you have to bear with me on this because obviously I'm only hearing this from other people. The press have got it slightly wrong as well. But two people, they were friends. They were gardeners. They went and left their family. They went off to do their job. And they then left the job and were never seen again. Now, that was back in April. There's no reason. It was completely out of character. And sadly, this has come out today. Let me just get rid of that banner down the bottom because that's annoying. So, and I'm going to have to get rid of that comment as well so people can read it. But yes, they have been found. The remains are found they're basically been found in a house very close to where they were living. The Guardia Civil have been there. They've arrested the people, as I understand it. And they were there with digging equipment recently, which is quite sad to see. Someone I know very, very well lives close to that situation. It's very, very bad and just horrible, isn't it? You know, they left for their day's work and, you know, and it has been confirmed. I mean, in this report, I believe they're saying that the investigation is still ongoing, but it has been confirmed it is them now. And I'm not going to leave that on because that is a really, really depressing subject. And I only just thought, you know, it's not just in the UK that you get all bad news all the time. It is worldwide, unfortunately. I think I was on 11:28 when I looked just now. I'm going to possibly have missed a couple here, guys, so sorry. With fried cockles, not sure about that, I'm going to be honest with you. My PTSD kicked in last night with Paul's Live. I believe that was Paul's Live. I tried to ask a question, but the super chat wasn't working, so I couldn't ask it. Sorry, mate. If you want, oh, mind you, I can't really get it through now because obviously it's, I'd done a question on Paul's channel, but obviously I was with him all day, so I actually texted him the question rather than sent it to him on the chat because the messages go crazy on his channel, don't they? Let's be honest. Danny, last year, one of my neighbours had an EV. They had it parked on their drive, and then my daughter going car in flames. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about this now. I mean, Sophie will not have our car that is a plug-in hybrid inside the house now. We have it outside the house, so that's left outside. I've got other cars in the garage, but well, we've only got one garage because Sophie uses half of the garage as a gym, and then I've got one car in the garage. My 2 cars, the collector's car or whatever you want to call them, they're not kept at the house, they're kept in a barn, so I don't keep them there. So Sophie now parks her car in the garage and the electric vehicle is outside. Hello, I agree with you on the comments Danny just put up. Trolls, they bore me. Yeah, look, as I say, I've had a few people, even YouTubers, you know, just they get all this, and you know what are they trying to prove? They wouldn't say it to your face. They just do this and that. Anyway, like I say, I'm not going to get into it, mate. I have a friend in the UK who keeps me updated with what's going on. Funny you mentioned don't come here in the UK at the moment working. I have an online account with Starlin. I have never had a problem with them. I can't comment on it because I'm not with Starlin, but yeah, I'm sure they're good. I like folk in the 80s and 90s a lot kept their cash under their beds. Yeah, I know, but when burglars broke in, I think that was probably the first place they went to, in pockets, etc., like 70s and 80s. Look, you know what? You got to play the proper game, haven't you? You can't keep your money in the house if you're talking your savings. That's difficult because you are at risk of someone stealing it. That would be silly to do that. But you know, if you've got investments, they can be in stocks and shares or whatever. The problem is when you sell those stocks and shares, it has to go back to a bank, doesn't it? And then the bank's got the money. I mean, you could do physical gold, but again, if you've got gold hanging about, obviously that could be a theft risk. It's a difficult subject. If you live where your wages, your lifestyle and your spending pretty much spend your wages, then fair enough. But like I say, enjoy your chats, Dan. Thanks very much, mate. I enjoy them as well. Bombay Bad Boy. I do love me old Bombay Bad Boys. I don't have them very often. They're not really good for your digestion, are they? But here in Scotland, you get an MOT done at the doctors over 50. I'm doing good. Low cholesterol. It's checking for diabetes. So that's a good idea, isn't it? That's a really, really good idea. I think you can pay for them everywhere, but charge extra if a business pays in cash now. I'll tell you a little story about that while we're on the subject. Years and years and years and years ago, 1998, quite a few years ago, I had the check cashing business. Now, with the check cashing business, obviously, someone's coming in to cash a check and you're giving them cash. I had to have Securicor or Securitas, I can't remember which one of them, used to deliver twice a week to my business. We got a delivery on a Friday and a delivery on a Monday, I think it was. And we got charged astronomical amounts for cash. Astronomical amounts. I mean, you know, we turned over a lot of checks. Obviously, when we left the premises, when we locked up of a night, we was quite safe because we only had checks. We had no cash left, or very little cash. During the day, it was a very secure unit behind bulletproof glass, you know, shutters. We had cages, we had the doors, the steel doors, and, you know, the locks, CCTV, alarms, panic buttons, you name it. But our risk time was when the cash had come in. That was our risk. But obviously, when we left the premises of a night, there was no cash left. It had all been given out, and we had a bundle of checks. That was the business, basically. So it was quite safe to leave of a night. Obviously, you know, if you're in a business that's selling whatever, I don't know, let's say you was in a jewelry shop and you're selling quite expensive items or watches or gold or something like that, when you leave the premises of a night, that's when your risk is, isn't it? Because the cash has got to be either collected by Securitas and then they take the risk of it, or you've got to bank the money, and then that's a massive risk. So there, you know, in effect, bank transfers and card payments are good in that respect. I'm talking about day-to-day stuff, like, you know, going to your shops, going to, you know, pay for your petrol, pay for your sandwich, pay for your coffee. Those sort of things are what we should be using cash for. How's your dad doing, Danny? I hope he's doing okay. He's had a couple of problems in the last week. In the last 3 weeks, he's been admitted to hospital 3 times. 2 of them is an ongoing illness that he's got. He come over home quite quickly. One day he spent a couple of days in hospital. And then the other, about a week ago, or just under a week ago, he fell over and he's hit his head quite bad. He's cut all his leg open, his hands open, his arm open. Luckily for us, his carer was very, very close. He called the carer and she was there very quickly. My dad's next door neighbours went in, they heard it. He did have to go to hospital. He was in there for a couple of days. He's on blood thinning tablets, so obviously stemming the bleeding was quite difficult. And this is where I get angry about me not being able to go back to the UK. I'm very angry about how I was mistreated. And in my opinion, that's the only word for it, mistreated. Hi, Truth Finder. Yes, I agree. They are uneducated. They boil my blood. I take it you're talking about the troll people. The fajita pot noodles is good. I have had that. Very good. Lift your spirits, light a candle and feel grateful. God bless. Very true, mate. In fact, there's a couple of candles in the video that I'm putting out tomorrow. So make sure you keep an eye out for it. I think it's going live at 8 o'clock in the morning. Give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share, comment on it if you don't mind. I don't know how well it'll do, but it's quite a little mixed. It's all right, you know, ends up with us at the beach. I'm not sure if it has to be approved as such, as doctors have always prescribed off-label meds. Well, before the pandemic, they did. HCQ. Right. There you go. Oh, God, I've zoomed down then and got loads of... I've got a complete new setup, guys. So I hope you're happy with this because I'm now on a mouse as well, whereas I always used to... Do you remember I used to have to touch the screen to see your comments? I never used to be able to put the comments up. I'm well pleased with my new setup, I'm going to be honest with you. And also the picture quality is going to be better from now on. I'm now using my children's webcam that they bought me for my birthday. So I'm using that as well. Danny, have you seen what's happening in Australia? Sorry. Yes, I have. I got sent it today. Again, I haven't really seen much of it, but I understand it was kicking off there quite badly. Danny, watch your video on keep or sell your house. It's a personal decision. Make a yes or no. Yeah, so I'm going to do the yes or no list, but I am aiming towards selling it and just paying the capital gain tax on it. You know what I mean? Just I've got to start sorting this out. My whole life, I've always wanted to keep them as a long-term pension, and then obviously when I pop off, it's something for the family, the kids. For Sophie to be secure and stuff like that. But I'll have to do that in another way. I've had them for many years. The game is changing. The goalposts have been moved, not just by this government, by the previous government. We've been shafted, basically, any private landlords. They get a bad reputation, landlords, but we've been shafted. At the end of the day, you will not believe the cost increase for the landlords now. And everyone goes, oh, rent's going up again. Yeah, it is because... You know, they're not going to take a loss, are they? You know, a lot of landlords now are not even covering their overheads. They're paying tax on money they're not earning. Don't get me started on it. I just need to get out of that business now. I've been in it 25 odd years, and it was great, and it was going to be my long-term pension. But I'm going to be honest with you, it's not the same game anymore. Different people in here, doesn't matter on numbers. Be worried if you only had 10, mind. We all have different ages from different places, but Danny's getting his own community in his own right. Yeah, do you know what? It's a real, I think it's a close community we've got on this channel. Some of the videos do all right. Some of them don't. It's just one of them things, isn't it? The channel's slowly growing. I mean, it's not, you know, we've got 420 new subscribers in the last month, which is great. And I just got to keep growing it slowly but surely. I have invested a fair few quid now in a bit of new equipment. So fingers crossed now we can start making some better videos. We're slowly getting there, aren't we? Yeah, those poor men. It is absolutely horrific, unfortunately. Horrible, horrible news. My friend that lives very close to it, in fact, his house adjoins it, saw the removal, if that makes sense. Oi, Danny boy, how are you? I'm okay, Paul. Thank you very much, mate. Agree, Mouse Chargers, a great channel. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. New Orcs off now. Thanks, Danny. Lovely chat. Hope Sophie okay tomorrow. Yes, thank you very much, mate. All good. You create a company and you hold the assets, then you sell them to yourself for £1. Not sure what that refers to, but if it's properties, no, unfortunately you can't because you can't undersell. Anyway, 2 months, but you probably wasn't referring to properties anyway. 2 months, I'm staying with family for 2 weeks and moving to guest house, both in County Durham countryside. Well done, mate. Did yours or your neighbour's insurance company pay out for that burnt bungalow? That was going back to the electric car, I believe. How much does it cost for a safety deposit box these days? So they range in size. An average one is about 28 quid a month. So if you've got documents, if you've got any jewellery that's sentimental to you, if you've got, you're not allowed to keep cash in them. That's part of your terms and agreements when you sign it. But if you've got jewellery or you've got, you know, documents that are important, anything that's important to you, I mean, you know, a watch, whatever, 28 quid a month, is that a lot of money? I personally don't think so if something's so important to you. My grandmother never saved in banks. When she passed, I was finding money stashed everywhere. I bet you shouldn't have never sold a house, mate, because you never know when you're going to find the next 50 quid. Atom banks seem okay. I've used them for a few years. Not heard of them, but as I say, I'm glad people are suggesting these. Truth finder, my bungalow was rented. The landlord was social housing. I've done that in reverse. My grandmother gave me a Jewish door knocker with a secret compartment. Now it's something else. How to prevent heart attacks when they will be baffled. Everyone's having strokes. Yeah, do you know what? I want to do a video on this because I've done masses and masses of amount of research into this, but it's not YouTube friendly. So it's a topic you can't really talk about if you want to keep your channel. I've been ironing HMRC letters for 40 years. My mum saved cash under the mattress. When she passed, the mattress was 2 foot from the ceiling. Well, I'll tell you what, mate, you've got a few quid to spend. Then you better spend it quick before they get rid of it. I love the story of the great train robbery. Yeah, it's yeah. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. I feel embarrassed paying 79p for a bottle of water on card. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, paying cash. You know what I mean? It's the only thing I'm going to say. Where are we? I'll just pop a couple of them up, guys. You can read them. I'll stay quiet for a second. Thanks, everyone, for that. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm trying to show everyone's messages tonight, obviously, because it's a bit quieter. We haven't got so many messages. But yeah, no more than the council tax people do. I've been waiting for a hammer to drop so long. Yeah. Better off selling up. We're going to get stung over however they can. The only hope I was going to hold out for was a new government. But, you know, we're still a long way off for that. I wouldn't sell any properties until you sorted out the bank problem, as they might steal all of the money for the properties. Well, it would be illegal, wouldn't it, at the end of the day? But I'm waiting for a subject access report from the bank to find out what the hell caused all this. So that's about 3 or 4 weeks away. That's a great comment, you know. That's a really, really good comment. There's new legislation for landlords. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Landlords are going to be forced out of this business. The houses are going to become, you know, more rare. The ones that are available. Like I say, whenever you rent a house, I can get it rented out the same day because there's such a demand for it, because there's such limited housing. And all this, I think the Labour Party, when they come in, they said they were going to build 800 and, don't quote me on this, about 840 houses a day. I don't know when they're going to start that, but yeah. New setup's been good, Dan. Hope your dads get better soon. Thank you very much, mate. Inheritance tax is a liability. Yeah, it certainly is. My kids have just paid a horrific amount of inheritance tax. Yeah, well, I don't even want to mention the guy on my channel. If you build it, Danny, this channel, they will come. Yeah, they will. I mean, they've got the problem is with YouTube. I mean, I've got a friend of mine that wants to set up his own YouTube channel, and getting people to visit it. It's like having a house in the middle of nowhere with no roads going to it. If people can't get it or can't find it, it won't get busy. But luckily I was on Paul's channel for many, many years. We started off with the watches, flipped over to the politics, and and so I sort of built up a little bit of a following on Paul's channel, which helped launch this channel. But I put 5 years of work in on Paul's channel for that. So, it's not been without its challenges, shall we say. My friend is a private landlord and said the hassle's too much now. She's setting up and moving to the Highland. Look, this is going to be happening, everyone. Like I've said to you before, and I don't want to sound like a broken record again, but if you've got an interest-only mortgage, and I've said this before, and apologies if I'll make it quick, right? If you've got an interest-only mortgage, and I'm going to keep round figures, you rent a property out for £1,000 a month, and your interest on your property, because obviously bear in mind the interest has all gone up. Your interest is say £700 a month, right? So your tax liability a few years ago, especially when I was in the game years ago, your tax liability was £300 a month. And then out of your £300, you would pay your insurances, your gas safety, any maintenance. So, you'd get taxed on a little bit of the rent. Okay. That's on £1,000 with a £700 mortgage. Nowadays, it's £1,000, but you can only offset 20% of your interest against your taxes. So those that are on a 40% tax bracket are paying so much money. So you can, on your £700 that you're paying in mortgage interest, you can only offset £140 against your taxes. So you pay tax on £560 that you don't earn. That's on one property. Now times that by 10 if you've got 10 properties in the higher tax bracket. It's ridiculous and, in my opinion, illegal. How can they tax you on money that you're not earning? Oh, my veins have gone up. And this is why I need to get out of it. I just need to get out of it. That's just one of the problems. Thank you very much for the food comment then. Sorry, I'm just coming down off my rant. Many people are talking about those things now on YouTube. It's fine. No, it's not, mate. It's not fine. You get a YouTube strike if you start talking about any conspiracy stuff. Yeah, I mean, look, right? Shouldn't you have a say in where your tax money goes? Shouldn't you have a say? Absolutely ridiculous. Danny, I have a private landlord. When COVID arrived in the UK, I found out my landlord went bankrupt because of the roof collapse on top of me. Wow. I was asleep and I had 2 black eyes. Wow. God, you don't want that, do you, mate? Yeah, I don't want to get onto the whole religious thing. Like I say, I've got to try and keep this channel, and it's hard because of my background with Paul. I just try and keep it non-political, non-religious. I know that these are massively, massively big topics at the moment. And you know what? If I went back to talking about politics and this and that, my channel would go absolutely insane. But I can't. I've got to stick with what I've said. It'll be a slower progress, but like I say, people can hopefully avoid the doom and gloom a little bit on this channel. By the way, if the lady that gave me the 2 or 3 bottles of HP sauce for Paul is watching, I did give them to him yesterday. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, I'd go on his channel and talk about it, but I don't really want it on my channel. I'm going to be honest with you. I've got my opinions on this, and I've done a fair bit of research on it. But like I say, I've got to try and just keep this. I'm going to bring it to an end, guys, because we've been an hour and 25 minutes, and I haven't got to the bottom of the comments. I'm really sorry. There's an interesting one. Look at that. I was number 70 or 80 when you first started. Now look at it. Yeah, I don't know what we're on now. I think we're heading on for 9,600, is it? I can't even tell, to be fair. Let's have a quick look before we go. 9,589. I've actually lost a couple of people during this live. So there you go. Anyone that can share this channel on their Facebook or whatever, just asking for a little follow would be appreciated. It always helps to build the channel up a little bit slow on the comments tonight, but we know why. If there's been a major person, shall we say, doing his own thing. Where are we? Why don't you get Graham Moore on your show, English Constitution Party? Do you know what? Again, it's sort of political, isn't it? Yeah. Big up HP sauce. I only ever have that when I have a corned beef. Oh, that sounds amazing. Do you know, you're making me hungry now. Right, ladies and gents, I will leave it there. Make sure you check out this video tomorrow. It's a good little video, to be fair. It's a little light-hearted and stuff, but you know, hopefully people will like it. So I will say good night to everyone, and thank you for joining me. Make sure you've got that notification bell, because I do think that a lot of people are not getting this through. So just make sure you've got the notification bell on, and make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. Thanks very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will speak to you all very soon.